To begin this afternoon's program, we would like to share with you the story behind the birth of this foundation and the journey the foundation has taken in the last 2 years since inception in its quest and commitment to help needy students obtain a higher education regardless of race, religion, or creed. What you will witness in the multimedia presentation in the next 3 minutes are the various programs, projects, and commitments undertaken and committed in pursuit of its objectives. You will see that education is not only limited to classrooms, it extends to the performing arts. Education is also not limited to paper chasing, but extends to personal development programs such as those organized by Outward Bound. The foundation also undertakes programs to assist those who are non-academically inclined. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the story of the mustard seed. Continue with this afternoon's program by calling upon Yang Berbahagia Dato' Kalimullah Hassan, the co-founder and board member, ECM Libra Foundation, to deliver his welcome address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat petang. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Hussein, Menteri Pendidikan Malaysia, yang mewakili Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Abdullah Haji Ahmad Badawi, Perdana Menteri, Yang Berhormat Datuk Dr. Maximus Ongkili, Menteri di Jabatan Perdana Menteri, Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Azman Hashim, Pengerusi Lembaga Pemegang Amanah Yayasan ECM Libra, Ahli-ahli Lembaga Pemegang Amanah Yayasan ECM Libra, Ahli-ahli Lembaga Pengarah ECM Libra Avenue Berhad, sahabat-sahabat dan para hadirin yang dihormati sekalian. Terlebih dahulu kami memanjatkan syukur kepada Hadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan limpah kurnia dapat kita berkumpul di hari ini untuk majlis pelancaran rasmi Yayasan ECM Libra. Kami juga bersyukur kerana dengan restunya dapat kami menubuhkan yayasan ini untuk membantu anak-anak watan yang tidak berkemampuan untuk memperolehi ilmu. Bagi pihak rakan-rakan saya serta lembaga pemegang amanah yayasan, saya ingin juga merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Hussein kerana dapat meluangkan masa untuk mewakili Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Perdana Menteri untuk melancar yayasan ini secara rasmi. Sebenarnya dasar-dasar serta hasrat Perdana Menteri untuk menambah dan memperbaiki human capital melalui perolehan ilmu menjadi sumber ilham kepada kami untuk menubuhkan yayasan ini. Saya juga ingin merakamkan penghargaan kepada Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Hisham yang telah banyak memberi nasihat dan panduan kepada kami dalam merancang program-program yayasan. Ladies and gentlemen, poverty has been the biggest shackle holding back many Malaysians from pursuing knowledge. Many a child has had to drop out of school and unarmed with basic knowledge has had to struggle and fend in the fields and urban streets, perpetuating a vicious cycle. My two partners, Lim Kenon, David Chuan, and I come from not so well-to-do families and have our own tales of hardship, but we were more fortunate than many others. Yet we saw from early on the dreams of our parents to ensure that we received as much education as we could, so that we could break that vicious cycle that I mentioned earlier. Hence, when we started our business together some years ago, it was always our intention to give back to society, particularly in helping the poorest Malaysians, irrespective of race or religion, to ensure that they were not deprived of education just because they did not have money. In that respect, we acknowledge that the surroundings and facilities available are equally important in providing a sound environment for education. It is therefore the easiest thing for us to do when Lim Kian On suggested that we channel 70% of our personal proceeds upon listing into an education foundation to help the poor realize their dreams. The foundation was set up in 2004 and has provided aid for schools to improve resource centers, canteens, hostels, computer labs, teachers' rooms, toilets, landscaping, and even to build extra classrooms. That helps with the ambience. Beyond that, we have provided loans and scholarships for poor Malaysians to pursue basic and tertiary education. The government has always provided a very high allocation for education in the budget and its 5-year development plans. Yet we realize this will not be enough as there are many other priorities. So we just wanted to do the little that we could to complement the government efforts and those undertaken by many other private individuals and corporations who have had a long history of philanthropy. We have learned from other Malaysians like the Kwok Foundation, Lee Foundation, and people like our chairman himself, Tan Sri Azman Hashim, and we hope that we can be as successful as them in giving back to society. Here, allow me to acknowledge our gratitude to our corporate clients, without whom we would not have been successful and without whom we would not have been able to set up this foundation. It is a fact that this foundation is as much due to the contribution of our clients and friends who have supported us as it is ours. Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri, honored guests, today we asked our wives and children to be present here so that they could witness us, their fathers and husbands, giving away their money. But they seem to be equally proud and happy. Our hope is that when they grow up, when they become successful, they will do the same with their money. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees, our Chairman Tan Sri Azman Hashim, Tan Sri Sak Ching Lam, and Datuk Roger Tan for having selflessly sacrificed their time to serve on the foundation. I also thank all our colleagues, friends, clients for their support and encouragement. And most of all, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister who has sent his apologies because his meeting with the Venezuelan Prime Minister got delayed and he only started about 10 minutes to 4. Much as he would like have to come, he called up to say that he sends his regards to everybody. But the meeting would only end at about 5, and I'm sure you're all busy people, you couldn't wait. So, like I said, I'd like to express our thanks to the Prime Minister for having originally agreed to launch the foundation, but also for being a good and inspiring leader to us. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kalimullah Hassan. With great pleasure, I would now like to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Azman Hashim, Chairman of ECM Libra Foundation, to say a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berhormat Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hussein, Menteri Pelajaran. Yang berhormat Dr. Maximus Ongkili, Menteri di Jabatan Perdana Menteri. Yang bahagia Datuk Kalimullah Hassan, Chairman ECM Libra Avenue Berhad. Yang bahagia Encik Lim On, Encik David Chua, ahli-ahli lembaga pemegang amanah Yayasan Pelajaran ECM Libra. Yang bahagia Tan Sri Datuk, para hadirin yang saya hormati sekalian, Assalamualaikum and a good afternoon. Terlebih dulu, kami manjatkan syukur kepada hadrat Allah SWT dengan limpah kurnianya dapat kita berkumpul di majlis pelancaran rasmi Yayasan Pelajaran ECM Libra oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hussein pada petang ini. Saya ingin merakamkan penghargaan kepada Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri kerana dapat meluangkan masa untuk bersama kita petang ini. Saya ingin juga mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada para hadirin di atas sokongan dan kehadiran tuan-tuan di majlis ini. Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri, ladies and gentlemen, it is an auspicious occasion for us today, and we are grateful to Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri for being able to grace this occasion as our guest of honor today. The ECM Libra Foundation has been in existence for almost 2 years now, but during this short period, it has extended assistance to hundreds of poor and underprivileged young Malaysians to enable them to continue and further their studies, which would have been impeded or even abandoned due to financial constraints. It has also extended assistance to many schools in the country by providing financial aid for refurbishment, repairs, extensions of classrooms, computer labs, resource centers, and other infrastructure necessary to provide the ambience and surroundings for all-round education. Allow me to provide a little background to the setting up of this foundation. Perhaps in relating this yet untold story, it may provide the inspiration to us here and other Malaysians to strive harder for success and to use this success to help make this a better country. I would like to state here one of my favorite quotations on charity. Francis Maitland Balfour said, "The best thing to give to your enemy is forgiveness. To an opponent, tolerance. To a friend, your heart. To your child, a good example. To a father, deference. To your mother, conduct that would make her proud of you. And to yourself, respect. And to all men, charity. Charity, honored guests, as we all know, begins from the heart. Yet, in this constantly changing world, where values are often thrown out the window in pursuit of worldly needs, we find the need to remind ourselves of the importance of charity to mankind. It was to me, therefore, a very heartwarming departure from the norm when I was informed of the desire by 3 relatively young people to set up a foundation to help poor and underprivileged Malaysians in education. And I was humbled by their invitation to be the chair of the Board of Trustees. Charity is not absent in this country. We have seen how Malaysians have contributed generously to many charitable causes, not least in last year's tragic tsunami, where they donated more than 70 million ringgit in the space of 1 month for victims of the tragedy. However, we have yet to see the widespread culture of philanthropy that we see in some more developed countries. These 3 men that I speak of are the founders of the financial services group, ECM Libra Berhad, now known as ECM Libra Avenue Berhad. They are Datuk Kalimullah Hassan, Mr. Lim Kian On, and Mr. David Chua. What touched me was not the fact that they decided to set up a foundation to help the poor. Many people have done that. But what is different is that these 3 men did it at the beginning of their foray into big business rather than in the later stages of their life. We have seen how established businessmen and philanthropists set up trusts and foundations long after they have been successful, when they have built up empires and made a name for themselves. But instead of using the wealth created upon listing of their company for themselves, these 3 men decided to put whatever money they had into a foundation to help the poor. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what touched me. Maybe if I monetize their contribution, that would be clearer. Datuk Kalimullah, Kianon, and David Chua contributed 63 million ringgit towards the foundation. In today's terms, it works out to about almost 79 million shares of ECM Libra Berhad, or equivalent to 18% of the company. Not many people, maybe even less in our country, can claim to have done that. And that is what makes me proud to be associated with this foundation. The fact that they could have kept all that money and no one would have resented it if they carried it for themselves, but instead, well, they gave it all away. Found it. They did this at the beginning of their entry into the big corporate world, with many more challenges and uncertainties and risks ahead of them. Now, what are those 3, ladies and gentlemen? Since its inception, the ECM Libra Foundation has provided scholarships for more than 200 poor students in Sabah through the Sabah Foundation. These children, who come from some of the state's poorest families, are receiving aid for 5 years, from Form 1 to Form 5, covering costs of uniform, hostels, books, and other needs. The foundation has also commissioned the building of a hostel for poor students in the Kota Marudu area. The foundation also put up buildings, computer labs, classrooms, and other facilities in the alma maters of the 3 founders of the foundation, the Methodist Boys' School in Penang,